Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to soften and harden edges based on your design. So I talked about it just a little bit in one of the tutorials, and I think I need to just focus on that. And so let's get started. So what do we mean by soften and harden edges? So as you can see, these edges, when I look at them, they look smooth, right? Although they're in an angle, Maya is showing me as smooth object. But for example, for this, it doesn't look smooth. What we can do here is we can select the edges that we want to look smooth. And pay attention here, we're not changing any geometry, we're not doing a smooth mesh, we're not changing the geometry of the object, we're just telling Maya, please show these edges to me as a smooth edge. So it means that we tell Maya, if the angle is 30 degree or something, just show it to me as if it is 180. Just show it to me as it is really smooth. Try your best and show the preview to me as a smooth when you want to do the shading on this object in the viewport, okay? And to do that, you're going to select the edges that you want to be smooth. First, let's just, go to edge. So for this object that I have here, I want the edges, these edges, all of them, to look smooth. I'm not going to select these edges. Maya is going to put a weird shadow on it because it is a hard edge, it is a 90 degree. Why would I want to make this edge that goes around to look soft? I don't want that, okay? I only want the edges that are around the cylinder to look smoother, only to look smoother, okay? I'm not changing geometry. So I'm selecting all the edges that I want to be smooth, and then do shift right click. You can see here there is soften and harden edges, right? So I'm just shift right click. I'm not releasing the right click or shift. I'm hovering my mouse over soften harden. So it's gonna go into this other menu here. So here I want the edges to be softened. So I'm just gonna hold my mouse over soften edges and release. So as you can see here, the edges are now softened. If I click on it, I didn't change any geometry, I didn't smooth the mesh, I didn't add edge loops. I just told Maya, please show these edges as if they are really soft edges. I want them to look like they're soft. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so but it is a little bit hard to tell now because if I go to wireframe unshaded view, which is this icon here, as I go here, there's no indication of if these edges are hardened or softened when I look at them here. I just need to go in and try to investigate them. So there's a way for us to tell Maya, please show us the hardened and softened edges in different ways so that we know what we're doing. Okay, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So there is a setting for that in Maya. If you go to Windows, Setting and Preferences, and then Preferences, if you go here, click on it. In this menu, look for polygons. And if you go to polygon, you can see that here it says edges. Let me change it back to the default. Restore default setting. Oops, everything went back to default. Well, just gonna hold Alt B to change my background. Okay, so here you can see that the default setting for Maya is that the edges are shown as a standard. So what we want to do here is that we're gonna tell Maya, please differentiate between soft and hard edges. So to do that, in the polygon section of the preferences, you click on soft and hard, and also you click on this option that says highlight border edges. These are the two that needs to be checked. Okay, we say save. So now this is the setting that we changed the default setting for Maya scenes, but it's not gonna affect the objects that are already in the scene. So to go in and affect the objects that are already in the scene, I'm just gonna select all the objects and go to display and then to polygons, and then to custom polygon display. Okay, so here again, if I reset it to the default setting, you can see that it's the same setting that you saw in the preferences, but because we have already created our meshes, we need to go in and change them for these objects that are already in the scene in here. Okay, but the rest of it, if you have that setting in the preferences and you create new objects, it's gonna be affected. Okay, you're gonna see in a minute what I'm talking about by showing soften and harden edges. So here I'm gonna do the same setting, basically edges, soft, hard, and border edges. And as soon as I hit apply, you can see now that the edges that are soft are showing up as dotted lines, and the hard edges like here are showing as like thick lines, right? That's exactly what we want. Now I can take a look at this creature and be like, okay, so I want this sphere, I want every edge on this sphere to be smooth. So I can go in, select the edges, all of it, and do shift right click, soften harden edges, and then soften edges. And if I click away, you can see that the edges are shown as dotted now, right? And it looks smoother. It only looks smoother. I'm putting so much emphasis on this because I don't want you to go in and smooth your meshes. Okay, you don't want to do that before you create UVs. First create your UVs, then we're gonna get to that, okay? There's no rush in getting the high poly version of your model. That's really easy to do. Once you have created your UVs, you have all your groups, we're gonna get to that, okay? So I'm gonna do the same here. Select all the edges, and to repeat the previous command, in Maya you can hit G, because the previous command was soften edges. Here if I hit G, it's gonna soften the edges, okay? Here, again, the same thing, and G. So you can go, but don't overdo it, okay? Like for example here, if you select these edges that are supposed, these are supposed to be hard edges, right? They're not supposed to be softened. So if I go in and do shift right click, soften edges, you can see that there's a weird shadow. Maya is gonna be like, okay, you want me to soften these edges, but how do I do that? They're like at 90 degrees, these face, I don't know how to soften it out. Maybe I just put a weird shadow on it, okay? So if this happens, double click, select that edge again, soften harden, this time you go harden edges, okay? You harden edges, that should be fine, okay? Do the rest for your model. So if it is supposed to look smooth, go ahead and do that. Select all the edges that are need to be showing as soft edges, and select all the edges that are supposed to be as hard edges, and do this for your 3D model, okay?